What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. And today, we got my boy Gas Money on.
Yeah.
Man, somebody that I came across on Instagram. Tell them who you are, bro. Tell them about you.
Shit, my name's Mike Gas Money Gastelum, Mexican-American. I came from nothing. When I say nothing, what I mean by that, I had a great family, but I didn't start out with money and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I've started like brick by brick, just going up and up and up.
Yeah.
And that's why my story's a come up, you know? It's an underdog story.
It is.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I got heart, blood, sweat, and tears. Put in the work. That's who I am.
Yeah.
And that's what you'll feel. That's what you'll get when you come across my page.
Yeah.
When I lift, when I talk, when I get around my clients, that's the message. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's crazy how the universe is, man. I'm all about universe. I'm all about energy. You asked me if I'm spiritual, and I go, yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe in the universe. And I didn't know you. You didn't know me. And I came across your page because I'm following your coach.
Yeah.
And I seen you on his page. And then I started putting the piece together. And I liked what you're talking about. I go, this dude's got a good message, man. There's a lot of haters out there who hate on positive messages. Mm-hmm. So I said, let me start following this dude. Let me start commenting. And eventually I reached out to you and I was like, I like his story. And I seen your story. I see where you came from. So tell him where you came from. Tell him like where you started at the bottom. Because I seen what you were doing. But I want you to tell it.
Like I said, man, Mexican-American. And real quick, the reason why I say that is because coming from a Latino background, we kind of rest on what the last generation did. And we're supposed to keep going up and up and up. But we end up doing the same thing that they did. We don't progress it. So I saw that as an opportunity. I didn't have this crazy story where I went to prison or any of that type of stuff, but I was going to be falling in the trap of just status quo, normal, average. And so I took that. I was like, man, I come from like a great heritage, you know, a lot of heart, a lot of sacrifice. I mean, that's the story. And I was like, I'm going to keep going. And so where I come from, man, like I was telling you, I played Division I ball. I walked on to a Division I school and played baseball there. And actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I have my MBA. I have a master's in business administration.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
You don't even talk about that.
I don't know why I don't talk about it.
You should.
And that's, you know, you asking me like to tell my story.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, like, I always tell people to tell me their story. I never get to tell my story like this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a little awkward around like, how do I tell my story? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But man,
I seen you in the trades.
And
I come from the trades.
Mm-hmm. And I grew up around all that. Like my dad, shit, my family, man, they're hard workers, bro. Like they get it.
I already know, bro. Latino, Mexicanos, I already know. We come here to work.
Exactly.
We don't come here to fucking rely on nobody else.
Exactly. And that's where I learned that hard work and that go-getter kind of mentality. And even like you see me in the gym, that's how I was out in the field too. Yeah. Like I'd be the first one to grab the shovel, whatever we got to do. Let's get it done. But that's the same work ethic that I have for my business. Yeah. So that's where a lot of people mess up. They don't transfer those, you know, those strengths to other areas of their life, like their fitness, their business. Because a lot of like Mexican-American people, they work hard. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, they do.
A lot of Latino people work hard. Why aren't you working hard on your fitness? Why aren't you working hard on your bank account, like your financial intelligence?
True.
Like I say, I had the blue-collar work ethic with a white-collar mentality. Yeah. So I had the work ethic, but I also had the white-collar mentality, which I mean by like, I'm going to keep progressing. I'm going to learn sales. I'm going to learn marketing. I'm going to really push it. So I had a little bit of both. While I was doing construction, I would be reading personal development books. I would be studying, and I would do that before work and after work. And so by the time I started my own gym at 26, I was lightweight, ready to go.
So where did you go to school at, get your MBA at?
St. Mary's College in East Bay, California. I walked on to the team.
Playing baseball?
Playing baseball.
Wow.
I walked on, like, that's like unheard of, bro. Like
it is unheard of.
Nobody walks on.
Super unheard of.
And I actually started.
That's even more impressive.
Yeah.
So you're very athletic. Mm-hmm. So there's a reason why you're into fitness and working out, and your athleticism, baseball led you to where you're at today.
Absolutely.
What made you want to open up a gym?
I wanted to have my own business.
Okay.
You know, I wanted to have my own thing.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what. I was like, I just want to own a business.
Yeah.
And I don't really tell this story that much, but the gym that I own now, that was a gym before I actually purchased it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was walking around the gym, just doing my thing, working out, and the owner, I was like, hey, I talk to people a lot about what's your vision? Like, what are you going to do? Like, what's your plan for life, right?
Yeah.
I already had a little bit of that in me.
Yeah.
So I kind of like proposed that question to him. I'm like, what are you doing? What's your plan? And
Yeah.
he was like, oh, I'm trying to get out of this. And that light bulb went off. I was like, oh, that's code for I'm trying to sell it.
Yes,
And
100%.
so a week later, I was like, let's work a deal out and I'll buy it from you. And he was ready to leave. It was kind of a failing business, a lot of broken machines, things like that.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. I started it with a 10K line of credit and a creative business deal that we worked out.
Yeah.
And then the whole reason why I started the gym was the same reason why I'm doing what I'm doing today. It was just at a lower level. It was to build confidence, build self-esteem, and really go for more. That was the extent of why I started it.
Yeah.
Because I struggled with confidence. I lacked self-esteem. I was skinny. And I was like, well, I want to own a business.
Yeah.
Let's own a gym. It helped change my life.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I'm 26. Let's do it.
That's pretty impressive, man, at your age, to like have that fearlessness to like, I just want to buy a gym. I own a gym, because not too many people your age. I've been your age. I grew up in the gym culture. Never did I think in my life I want to purchase a gym. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's impressive, man. You did that. You had the balls to do that, not scared to take that leap of faith.
Absolutely. Like, one of the things that I talk about a lot is, are you living in faith or are you living in fear? And a lot of people talk about that they're living in faith, but I'm like, you'll tell if you're living in faith by your actions. Let me see your actions, and that'll tell me if you really believe. They'll even have it tattooed on their body. I'm like, and I'm not pointing at your body, but just people in general, they'll post quotes and have tattoos about it. And I'm like, your life doesn't embody a life of faith. So my whole thing is be honest, be honorable, and back what you say with your actions. And if you do that, you should yield a result. And I'm sure we're going to get to that point too,
yes.
where I was like, man, like, I'm kind of skinny fat. I'm kind of broke. I'm kind of like, what am I doing with my life?
And you're right. A lot of people, they rely on blind faith, and I'm not into blind faith. I'm into, like you said, actions. Actions speak results. And you got to do work to get those actions. You're not going to just fall in your lap like, oh, God got me. I'm going to be rich and win the lottery someday. No, that blind faith shit don't work. I'm so sorry, but it doesn't work that way.
It's the same thing with like law of attraction and manifestation. I'm like, you could visualize all you want and sit on the sidewalk. You're still going to be sitting on the sidewalk. You're going to be one of the homeless people, and God bless their souls. But you get what you're putting out there. And my whole thing is that does work. Intention does work. Visualization does work, but you have to back it up with actual action. That's kind of like the formula. It's intention, belief, and faith backed with actual action.
Yep.
It's crazy, bro. People, they'll be like, I believe in the universe, or I'll believe in God. And when it comes to actually doing the action, they lack so much trust. They lack so much belief. I'm like, where did it all go? Is that okay with you? Are you okay living like that, knowing that? I'm like, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
It's not congruent.
Yeah.
And that's my whole message is I get people to be honest and congruent. That's why when they come on my coaching calls or X, Y, or Z, I don't let them be fake. I'm like, no. We're not talking about other people. We're talking about you right now. And I force them to like level up and be honest. You know?
That's something that I'm a big person in manifestation and visualization. I've always been that way my whole life. And when the wife and I started this, we started manifesting and visualizing like what this could be and what can it turn into and what kind of people we want on here. And I didn't know you on social media. There's a few guests that I've had on here I didn't know, but I seen the message you guys were all preaching. I go, someday, somehow, I'm going to get these dudes one by one on my show because I love the message they're spreading. They're spreading the truth. It's triggering people. It's angering people, but they're angry at themselves because they know it's the truth and it's stinging them. And they don't want to hear the truth, but it's the damn truth. You need to fix yourself. And I always say this, especially to fathers. You owe it to your kids, man, to change yourself, flip yourself. You owe it to see them graduate high school, college. You're selfish and arrogant if you think you don't do that. You brought them into this world, so you need to do better, you know? So how do you feel about that?
Man, it's such a crazy topic. Like, it's so hypocritical. Like, they say your body is your temple. I'm like, well, what happened to your body? Why aren't you taking care of it? I'm like, we're supposed to go for more. Like, let's say you have kids here.
Yes.
And then they stop, and then they don't progress. And you're like, what's up? Like, let's say you're teaching them how to walk.
Yes.
And you're like, I see you walking, and then they just stop. You're like, I know you could jump. I know you could throw punches. I know you could do all this crazy stuff. Why aren't you doing it? That's how I feel God looks at us down below. And he's like, why are you stopping there? I gave you this whole opportunity. You have purpose. You have a vision. You have heart. You have all this stuff. And you're just literally stopping right there. Why? And then they use like things like religion or whatever.
Cop-outs.
Cop-outs. And like, we're actually supposed to go for more. And that's what I really teach people, because that is my life.
Yeah.
I could have just stopped. I could have got a 9 to 5. I could have stayed in construction, and I could have just stayed there. That would have been an easy way out.
Yeah.
Very easy. But I went for more. Everything we do, bro, like our whole life is on blast. On social media, you see my whole life. I show everything. I'm on the podcast. Nobody wants to be on a podcast unless you're really working on yourself. If you really have a message, if you really stand for something, you will stand up on that soapbox and be like, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's missing from a lot of people is they don't have a why. They don't have a purpose. So that's what I get my people to get into, because if we can get to their vision and get to their why, then they'll actually start going for more. All they see is 9 to 5, boring ass life, live for the weekend. That's the only time they feel free is on the weekend. By the time Friday clocks out, it's like, where are we going? Friday and Saturday and Sunday. That's their only moment of freedom.
Yeah.
I'm like, every day is Friday for me. It's Monday today.
Yes.
Today is Friday. For other people, you know what I'm saying? Like every day's Friday.
Yeah.
Every day's Friday, bro. Like I don't have no schedule. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I created that. I took the risk.
Yes.
Why aren't people doing that? And that's what I help people get that out of them.
You're showing them. And I like that, because we get lost in life, and a lot of us don't realize what our purpose is. What's our why? And I say the same thing. Like, you got to find your why. Mm-hmm. Why do you want to get in shape? Why do you want to level up? Mm-hmm. Why do you want that job promotion? Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Find your why. Use it as fuel. Don't let it hold you back. And another thing, my wife has said, it was interesting. We found somewhere like, why is it when we're babies, you crawl, okay? Then you evolve to walking. How many times you fall down? You think when you're walking, you get back up?
A lot.
A lot. And how many times you start, then you run, then you fall down, hit your knee?
A lot.
Exactly. So why when we do that religiously, perseverance as babies, as kids, why when we become adults, you try to teach someone, you could do this, you could do better, and all of a sudden, no, they got the blinders on, I can't do that. They're automatically already shutting you down. Why not? Why do you want to stop learning? You're always learning. I'm 49 years old. You're younger than me, but guess what? I'm not arrogant to think like I can't learn from you. Mm-hmm. I'm always learning. I'm always an open book. I want to learn. I want to keep learning. I love learning. I love evolving. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like people stop evolving.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, so in our kind of realm, you know what people say? They're just like, I just got to stop being a bitch. I got to just man up and do it. I'm like, that's not good enough. Like, that's not the answer. There's some program inside of your mind that we got to get into, that you conditioned yourself over time, that created ego, fear of judgment, the perception of others. It's weighing you down.
Yeah.
Like literally,
facts.
It's just holding you down. And so success is more about unlearning all those conditions, unlearning all those bad habits, unlearning all that stuff before we can start learning more. So when I get somebody first, because this is literally my life that I'm talking about, but my clients too, I tell them, we got to decondition you, because you're thinking all off. You know what I mean? Like, that's fear of what others think, that if you fail, I think that's a big problem.
But see, how are you going to succeed if you don't fail? You have to fail. That's what it is. It's failing forward. I'm sure you learned a lot of things along the way with your business. There's some things you probably failed that you know now they got better. How old are you right now?
35.
Okay. So you bought that business at 26?
Yeah.
So you're a much different person now than you were back then. You probably learned a lot. You probably know the game a lot better, a lot sharper. You know what? Iron sharpens iron. Absolutely. So along the way, you've had some failures. I'm sure you fell back sometimes. I'm sure times you were probably like, what the fuck was I thinking? This is too much for me. But you stayed in it. You stayed in the fight. And now look what you've evolved to, you know, and you wanted more out of it. You're like, okay, I want to take this to the next level instead of just being a gym owner, maybe being a one-on-one trainer. Now I want to learn how to teach people how to level themselves up.
Absolutely. I've learned mistakes that have costed me $70,000, hiring the wrong person, having me being the wrong person. Let's start there.
Yeah.
It's not the what or the how, it's the who. Yeah. I was the wrong person the entire time. So I get people in my DMs and they'll be like, teach me how to make money. I'm like, well, first of all, that's how you interact with people. You don't even say hi. You don't say nothing. You just say, teach me how to make money.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're starting off on the wrong foot.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, well, who are you? And they're like, they're nobody. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They
Yeah.
haven't created any value.
Yes.
And they don't have any skills. They don't have the energy. Like, there's a lot of intangibles that you have to have before you start having a life of freedom, you know, creating millions or money, because that's what a lot of people want.
Yeah.
But they really want freedom.
Yes.
So I'm like, how do you get to freedom? It's the who. And that was a big part that I was missing. I didn't create the 10.0 self. I wasn't attaching to a vision, a purpose. I was looking outward at what everybody else was doing.
Yep.
And all my friends, we were drinking, doing whatever, and being lazy. I'm like, yeah, well, hang around 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th. Everybody knows that one.
Yep.
You either get around different people or you're going to have something bad happen in your life.
Yes.
And for me, it was almost like a hat trick. It was like I went through a breakup. I was skinny fat. I was drinking too much. I had anxiety, depression, and then COVID. It was like bam, bam, bam. I was like, wake up call.
Yeah.
I'm like, God will give you little hints here and there, like little yellow flags. And then you get to a certain point, he's just going to be like, you're not listening.
Yeah.
Like, change it.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened for me. That was like the biggest blessing for me. All those things that happen. I tell people, you don't create your vision is revealed. And the thing is that keeps people from really revealing your vision is hanging around the wrong people.
Yeah.
Having vices. Because everybody like you said during the workout, everybody's ripped, but they just have a lot of fat on top of their body. That's a metaphor for exactly what I'm saying right now.
Yep.
Everybody has a vision, their 10.0 self, underneath all that bullshit, basically, all that garbage. And
Yep.
that's what I was living in. As soon as I started cleaning up my act, unlearning a lot of bad stuff that I was laced up on, basically.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing is like a lot of our uncles, our fathers, people that taught us, they taught us to the level that they knew.
Yep.
I'm at a level that no one has even been at in my family. That's a beautiful thing. That's not a bad thing.
No.
But at the same time, you got to find mentors. You got to find coaches. You got to think different. I don't know if that made sense, but
Makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense because I want to hit on, you went through some dark times. I've gone through some dark times, you know, addicted to pills, almost lost my life, depression, things that I've inherited, mental health. It sounds like you went through some stuff like that too as well. But it sounds like we both have the same path. Like, you know what? This doesn't define us. This actually we use as fuel. Like we hit rock bottom on our own different journeys, but also gave us a message like it's time to pull ourselves out of this shithole that we're in and level ourselves up. Like you said, depression, fear, you're drinking too much, skinny fat, COVID hit. You're like, something's got to be better than this. I got to do something. You didn't stay swimming in it. A lot of people stay stuck in that. And what got you out of that? What was your breaking point that said, you know what? No more bullshit, Mike. Like, talk to yourself in the mirror. Like, no more bullshit. We're going to level ourselves up. We're going to find something new. We're going to change. What made you get out of the drinking, the vices, all the above?
I think the pain for me, being honest with me. I remember I started my transformation, my fitness journey right around that time. But right before that, I was drinking a lot. Just drinking in the middle of the day. Like,
Wow.
what time is it right now? 2 o'clock? We already had
Slamming-
a couple of drinks already.
Damn.
It's 2 o'clock, you know?
In the weekday.
Who does that?
Yeah.
I thought it was I thought this is how messed up programs are.
Yeah.
I thought owning a business, being a boss, you could have a drink and kind of kick your feet up and have a cigar.
Yeah.
That was my image of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so bad.
It is.
I'm like, I'm so far from that now.
Yeah.
So I got hit with all those different things, the breakup. And when I say this, I'm so past it, but that's what happened. God bless her soul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't hold or harbor any resentment.
Yeah.
I'm like, that kind of made me. You know what I mean? COVID, God bless everything that happened and all the lives lost and all that type of stuff, but that made me who I was.
Yeah.
But I remember that pain, I just threw my hands up and I prayed. And I hadn't prayed for a long time. And I know you're not religious, but I would even say that I didn't even know what I was doing. To be honest with you, I was just in such pain. I just remember having an early wake-up time because that's what my coach said. He said, wake up early, go take your reflection in the morning.
Yep.
So I was reflecting, but what was I reflecting on? All the bullshit that I was doing, the drinking, the choices that I made. And I just remember I was like, I had tears coming down my eyes, and then I threw up my hands, and I'm like, God, just tell me what to do. Like, I don't know why I did that. I just felt a lot of pain, and I knew it wasn't right. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's what really started the whole twist for me. And I just kept walking the path. Like I say, and Wes says the same thing. We say the path is illuminated as you walk it. All I've done up until this point is just taking one step forward, one step forward, one step forward. And that's all I've done since that moment. I just haven't stopped.
Yeah.
You know, and I've gotten answers revealed to me and told to me every step of the way. But when I threw my hands up like that, I don't really tell people this. I felt comforted.
Yeah.
I felt like chills.
Yes.
I felt safe. I felt like that was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's the part where people will really not understand that part. But that's what happened. I mean, I can't fake my story.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
No, it's deep. Sounds like the breakup, everything, COVID, everything you were going through, and your arrogance and ego and pride was the sign. Said, I need help, please. I need help. I need some guidance. And something flipped the switch inside of you, like it's time to go. So let's fast forward to where you're at today. You're coaching now. You have a business now. What led you to do that? I know who your coach is online, but I want you to tell the story how you came to be working with Wes Watson.
Yeah. I mean, we'll just continue the story, I guess, then. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm skinny fat. I have a kawama on this hand, a big-ass, beer, 32 ounce, and then I have some whiskey, whatever's in the, whatever I got.
Oh, you're doubling
just
up.
chilling, yeah.
You're doubling up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Double fisting. I'm like, who's this guy, What's this guy about? And I'm listening to it. I thought I was just going to be watching just another prison story. But I was like, this guy's making sense. He's hitting me where it hurts. And he's telling me exactly what I needed. And that's how I started with him. And see, here's the thing. A lot of people, they're like, I want to do what you do. They see the Lambo. They see what I do. I'm kind of bragging. I'm like, I do what I want.
Of course.
I'm like,
you've earned that, though.
I've earned that, yes.
Exactly.
You can't jump levels from your level 1, which is basically shitty version, on the couch, to my level, which I'll put your ass in the dirt in every area. It's the truth.
It is.
And I'll back it up.
That's true.
It's true. But I will help you. I will help you. The thing is that they see the money. They see like the flashiness. Yeah. And I never got into coaching for any money. I got it. I was just like, I love how I feel. I like posting. I like sharing my little quotes. I like sharing what I'm learning. I felt present. I felt happy. I felt like I had a purpose. And by doing that, by doing it the real organic way, that's why you see some of us doing really well, because we're attached to the message. Yeah. We're not attached to the money. Yeah. That's a big difference. They're attached and trying to get the money. I'm like, I was never trying to go for the money. I was going for value. Yeah. And so that's how it all started going. I was like, oh, I have 3 clients now. Well, I did personal training before. I know macros. I know how to like train people. And then it went from 3 to 8 to 25, back to 13 to 75 to 150. Like I just kept going more and more and more. Yeah. And I got real transformations. Like if you go on my page, I get mind, body, soul, like real transformations. You could actually see them. And I'm proud of that.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Your lineup is a reflection of you. So I relate it to the fathers. I'm like, look at your lineup. Why do your kids look like roly-polies and all lazy and fat? Oh, that's because you're lazy and you're fat. Yep. You're weak-minded. That's not even on them. Why are we saying, son, take off the headphones and stop playing video games? They're just doing what you showed them. Yeah. Yep. So like I connect all the dots because I actually went through all the dots.
Yeah. So you basically saw Wes, saw his message, said, you know what, I want to level up. And you hired him for personal development?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't hire him for business coaching. I just hired him for personal development because I liked what he was saying. I knew what he was saying was right. Yeah. Because a lot of people hear what he's saying and they think it's motivation. I'm like, dude, drop your ego and really listen to what I'm saying, what these guys are saying, what Wes is saying. And your ego's really big if you don't hear the message. There's a deep message in there. Yeah. And it's powerful. Yeah, it is. So yeah, I hired him for personal development because that is the key to success. Yes. If you want to level up, create the who. Upgrade your habits, upgrade your mindset. That's going to upgrade your bank account. you can't just go chase the bank account without upgrading the mindset.
That's so true. I'm working with this dude. He's a client, friend of mine, and he thanks me every day. 46 years old, best shape ever in his life. Never thought he could achieve this. I'm like, I'm gonna get you Bruce Lee ripped. You believe it? He goes, yes. So all I'm doing is taking body fat off you. Believe it? He goes, let's go there. Because he's already lean. And he goes, I look at it like this. He goes, I'm not just cutting up my body, I'm cutting up my mind. My mind's sharper now. I go, yeah, because you're putting in the right ingredients into your body, into your race car. That's why your mind is sharper. And you're talking about a guy who used to go on 2-3 day benders, snorting coke, busting out 8 balls of cocaine, killing it, drinking.
Yep.
He had all the worst vices. Now he leveled himself up. And I'm like, now you're becoming a samurai, man. And anyone can do it. People just have this there's these blinders and they're stuck in their own head that they can't do it. And again, that's why I resonated with Wes. I liked his message, not just because he went to prison. I connect with him on that too, because I've been in prison. So I know what that's like. I know how he flipped himself in there, because I did the same thing. I landed as a fat boy, and I got out. I was lean. I lost like 50 plus pounds in there. So I connected with that. Early AM, I did that in there too. A lot of the inmates were sleeping their asses off, eating like shit. I was getting up, working out, getting after it, eating my protein. I was teaching myself. I didn't even know macros. I just portion control in there. So I taught myself that in there. No one taught me. I became a personal trainer in there. Got certified. So that kind of all led me to where I'm at today. And I think everybody has a crazy story. Again, I seen you doing construction trades. You were like the skinny looking Mexican-American kid. And now here you are, this jacked fucking Mexican-American dude with a Lamborghini and preaching these positive messages. Like, man, I like what these guys, where they come from. You got it out the mud, as we say on the street. No one can take that from you.
Absolutely. The thing is that people don't understand God's people are the ones with the most pain. That's what, and if you're ever going through something and you're like, man, I've been through it all. Read the Bible. Not just the Bible. Read other stories. Read your story.
Yeah.
Read Wes's story. It's not just the Bible. If you don't like the Bible, read other stories. Okay. God's people are people who turned pain and shifted it into their purpose, their power. And that's the powerful thing for anybody listening. If they're going through dark times, it ain't over. Like, I kind of laugh, the people who like went to prison, who did drugs, they actually went all in on something. All the people in the middle, they were still fucking pussies, basically.
Yeah.
They were scared.
Yep.
And I was kind of like that, to be honest. I was in the middle. But what is the middle? That's the masses.
Yes.
On the outside are the 1% to 5%, which is the rich. They know what they're doing. The bottom half is the people, how you grew up, what you went through.
Yeah.
But the middle, which is the majority, is the masses. So why don't we change these people? And I just laughed because I'm like, these guys who went to prison or had this crazy story, they had the balls to just go take it all the way there.
Yep.
And then the rich people, they had the balls to take it all the way there too. What the fuck are we doing in the middle?
Yeah.
We're living in fear.
Yes.
That's ungrateful, by the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's very ungrateful. And I just didn't want to be like that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in fear. I want to go for everything.
Yeah.
But the main message that I want people to understand is God's people turn pain into power. Like, you could be really powerful. Think about what you did. It was just towards negative.
Yeah.
Like, I think hustlers in the streets are entrepreneurs.
Me too.
If with the right mindset.
Yep.
You were already hustling and marketing and sales and all that. The gift of gab is just all sales.
Yes.
You were just doing it in the wrong way. You didn't have a mentor like me or somebody else lacing you up properly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. I wish I could take some of those people because they would be the best clients.
100%. I always said I could have got a job at a Ferrari or Lamborghini dealership. I'll sell all those dudes easily. Teach me the game. I'll sell all of them because I have the gift of gab. I know how to connect with people. It's just something that I possess. I know how to possess. I find out like who you are, what you're about. Like, I care about you as a person. I get to know instead of I just want your money. I just want to take your money. You get to know the person deep. Right. And then you connect with them. Then we find out, oh, we like to work out together. Oh, you played division baseball? Well, I played a little baseball. I'm a hoopster. I'm athletic too. I played, sports. So we connect on different things. You got to connect with people. And one thing a gem that I took from Wes, and it blew me away when he first fucking said it, I was like, this dude's tripping. Addicts are the most successful people on planet Earth. And I was like, what the fuck's he talking? Addicts. And they go, why? Because addicts will go through brick walls, jump through the fire, anything they can to get that fix. So now you shift the mindset to success. Instead of going down that negative path, now we want success. Same addiction, but now you want success. Now you shift it. And
They're
guess what?
committed. They're the most committed people ever.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what have you been committed to? You've been half-stepping, half committed in literally everything you do. You probably commit halfway just brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's audit. Let's do a self-audit, a life audit on your whole life. And let's see, were you ever focused on one thing? When you woke up, you were focused on 5 things. You opened up Instagram, your email, your bank account, all within 15 seconds.
Yes.
I'm like, you just woke up.
Yes.
I'm like, come on, dog. Can we focus on one thing and commit to one thing for 20 minutes? You'll start killing it.
Yeah.
My thing is this, is once people start understanding like your name is on life, your name is attached to everything that you do, your wife, your kids, your career, the money that you make, you'll start making different changes because you're like, your name is on that.
Yeah.
Your name is on that one right there. Are you cool with that? And that's what I started getting mad about. I was like, I'm better than this. I could do better than this. I got more.
You keep it fucking real. You know that about yourself. You said that, like, I could do more. I could do better.
Mm-hmm.
You said, one hand, I got the bottle of 32 ounce, then I got whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, this isn't me, man. This is not me. I'm failing at this. I need to shift my mindset. And that's what you did. You took a risk. Eventually, you reached out to your coach. He flipped you. And eventually, you stayed on the course. You didn't give up. You're like, you know what? I could do this. I could teach people what I know. And I seen that. I seen you kind of growing. And I said, this dude is getting after it. He's doing what he's supposed to. He's saying his message. He's not afraid. Because a lot of us have fear. Even me, I had some fear talking online because I wasn't me. I'm more posting cars and stuff. And I'm a talker in person.
Right.
I'm posting about myself, posting my personal business. But people want to hear your story. You know, they love to hear that story, especially the underground story, especially the grinder, like the kind of family you come from.
Yeah.
Family of trade workers, you know. Mexican Americans built this country. They don't get enough credit. This country was built on
Off
the
of our backs.
of us, Latinos.
Yeah.
We built a lot of houses, buildings here. People don't fucking talk about that. We built a lot of shit in this country. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to stay doing that. Can we still do it? Yes, we can always, but we don't have to stay. We can change it. Now you're breaking the mold. I want to break the mold. You know what I'm saying? I want to be an entrepreneur on a different level.
That's why I think, why is it important to show a Lambo? Why is it important to talk the way I talk? Why is it important to be confident? Why is it important to have muscles? In order to open people's ears, you got to open their eyes first.
Of course.
I have to see that you're ripped. I have to see that your life has changed. You have to bear fruit from your tree. If you look at a tree and it doesn't bear fruit, it'd be kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
I want to see the change. And that's the beautiful part about social media is we get to see what's what. We get to see what's what. And if Latino people, not just Latino people, any person can see, oh, he did it. He doesn't seem any more talented than me. Like he's putting it out there. I want that. I could do it. They'll follow. Leaders create followers just by being a leader. Leaders don't buy their followers. They don't want followers because people follow them because they're leading the damn way.
Yeah.
They'll have followers just because.
Yeah.
That's why I love it, because I'm just like, well, it says how many followers you got. Well, how big of a leader are you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. And I look at my clients, I'm like, how badass of a leader are you?
Yep.
Let's see all your other people, because they're a reflection of you.
Yeah.
But like, man, it's beautiful.
That's so true,
Yeah,
though, man. I like that because a lot of people, they want to be leaders, but they don't want to put in the work. It's like you got to put in the work on yourself first before you can lead anybody, before you can give them any kind of direction. Like you said, a lot of people will message you, and I'm sure you get it and others, like, show me how to make money. Well, let me look at you. Brother, you got to work on yourself first, man. What are you offering? What is your plan to make money? Like you said, I want to make money. What are you doing to better yourself, though? Or what kind of discipline? What's your level of discipline? There's levels to all this shit. You got to start mastering each level. Do you even know how to eat good? Do you never how to wake up early in the morning? What time do you wake up at? What time do you go to bed at? How much TV time do you watch? How busy are you? Oh, I'm very busy. Let me see your cell phone. Let me see how much time you spend on social media. Let me see your watch time. Oh, but you can't learn macros. You can't learn how to level yourself up. But you could be on the phone for hours in a day, barely even posting by yourself. You're just aimlessly scrolling. Like my wife calls it the death scroll. Are you doing? And I've been guilty of the death scroll too, where you just get caught up for a long time looking at bullshit content that doesn't benefit you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Absolutely. I remember one story when I was doing construction, because I grew up doing this.
Yes.
I've been doing it since I was 12, 11 with my dad. And it was like kind of a family thing. And I remember a close family friend. You know how us Latino people, we have uncles that aren't even uncles. You know what I'm saying? Like we have close people that are in our family that just, they're part of the family. They're not blood, but they're part of the family.
True.
George, I love George. He's not here with us anymore. But I remember he comes and talks to me, and I'm like, what should I do? He's like, you see that pile of rubble over there? I'm like, what the fuck is rubble? You know what rubble is? It's just trash, just garbage, you know? And he's like, go take that and then put it in the flatbed and, you know, take 5-gallon buckets, just load them up just one by one. It was a big ass pile. That was the value that I provided for that job. So when people say, I want to make more money, they're the rubble person.
Yep.
That's all they bring. I'm like, go move that box, go carry that 5-gallon bucket from here to there. That's all you're worth. You're lucky that I'm telling you that, because if you level up, you'll become more valuable. More value means more money.
Yes.
The more value that you bring, the bigger problem that you solve, the more money you make.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people want to be leaders. And I'm like, I don't even tell people to be leaders anymore.
No.
You need to follow first in order to become a leader. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, a lot of people, they're like, I want to be a leader, and they'll teach their people to be leaders. I'm like, I don't want any of you to be leaders. I need you to be a great follower right now. I need you to be a great student. Then when you're ready, you will start leading, and it might be one person, yourself and your family.
Yeah.
Then it might turn into 10 people, then 100 people.
Yes.
Do you see leaders? They have 10 people that they take care of. Some leaders have 100. Some people have 1,000. Some people have millions. You got to follow what path that you're on, what capacity that you offer. You know what I mean? How big of a leader are you? How much value do you offer the world? Some people are only able to lead themselves. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And this is what I tell people too, like, you're going to rub off on people when you flip yourself. Unknowingly, you're going to rub off on people. The minute you start changing, you start leveling up, you start looking better, all of a sudden you're this new person. You get to where you want to be, like, looking so like, I did that shit. Look at me now. All of a sudden now your friends that were kind of like first hating and talking shit, now they're like, now they're interested. Now family members are getting interested. They're watching your lead. Next you know, your kids are kind of taking note of what you're doing. Your spouse starts jumping on board. We all get inspired by somebody. And I tell people, learn to be an inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Learn to be an inspiration. But it all starts within you first. You know what I'm saying? Just like
Absolutely.
that. That's what people don't realize. You can inspire anybody, man, but it all starts within you.
Absolutely. I agree. A lot of people, they send me a message and they're like, I'm like, what do you struggle with? And then they're like, motivation. Then I ask them, I'm like, what are you motivated for? Because that's what the word means. What's your motive?
Yes.
If you break that word in half, it means motive. I'm like, well, what are you after? They don't know what they're after, bro.
No, they don't.
That's a big deal, like on my program and probably with your life too. Clarity is currency. If you don't know where you're going, you're not going to end up somewhere very good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to know like, there's so many pillars in life. Like, who are you? What's your identity? Who are you? Because if you don't know who you are, anybody's going to be able to convince you of anything. Like you're a solid individual. You know who you are. Ain't nobody is going to be able to come in this room and influence you because you know who you are. Your vision, you have a vision. You have a podcast. You have this whole setup. You're manifesting. You're visualizing. You know where you're going to go. You have a purpose, which is going back to all the pain that you went through.
Yeah.
These are pillars that if you don't have these down just for yourself, it's going to be really hard to be influential. It's going to be really hard to be a leader. It's going to be really hard to create a business, because anybody could create a business, but are people listening to you? Do people follow you? Do people listen to you? Do you actually get transformations? That's a big deal. If you don't have a message, if you don't really stand on it, if you're not really living it, people aren't going to follow you. They're not going to follow through.
And what I say is, like, you think guys like Michael, myself, all the others, Wes, you think we're always fucking motivated to get up early? You don't think that shit's hard? You don't think it sucks? You think I want to get in the cold shower every day? No. But I do it because it's the path, you know, it's a hard path, and I want to take that path. But how do you get people to get to that path? to get themselves up and going, to want to flip a switch.
Yeah.
What have you learned? Because the human mind is crazy. We're all different.
Absolutely.
It's hard to motivate people.
Absolutely.
And we're not always motivated. We do it because we know we have to do it.
You got to be able to meet somebody where they're at. You know what I'm saying? So what I say first off the bat, you got to drop all vices. All vices have got to go.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If you're ever wondering why you can't see your vision, the vision's a big piece. Even if you don't know like 10 years out of your vision, can you see one step of your vision? Can you see that one page of your vision? That's all I need, because that's all I needed. That's all Wes needed. That's all a lot of people needed. They just needed that one move. Your next move is your best move, right? So the vices cloud God's voice. The vices, you want to know what a vice is? Wes says, a vice is anything that you regret. To me, a vice is anything that dulls the voice of God. And first, we got to get all those off the table. That's what's making you fat. We don't even have to go too deep with it. Let's just get the vices off. The antidepressants have got to go. The smoking's got to go. Even the cannabis pen that is probably doesn't seem too bad, you know. Porn's got to go. It's all got to go, because why? Because society is using those vehicles to make a man softer. And if a man is softer, his family's going to be softer. You look at any troubled youth, any troubled woman, it goes back to the father. You go back far enough, you peel the curtain back. I'm like, where was the father? Where was the father? Where was the father? And he was off vices.
Yeah.
So drop vices first, and that gets you out of the grave. We're not even running yet. We're just getting you to level 1. So when people drop, like, because I've had people lose 100 pounds, and they're like, fuck, oh man, I feel amazing. I'm like, cool, we're on chapter 1 now. We're barely starting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're just getting going. We haven't even really unleashed your full potential yet. We just got rid of all the bullshit.
Yeah. There's levels they got to master.
Yeah.
Now you hit that first level. Now we got to see, can you stay there? Can you maintain it? What do you do for them not to go back to their old habits? Because a lot of people always want to revert back to their old habits. That's the tricky part.
One of my main goals on my calls, one of the first questions is what is your 10.0 self? What is your vision? What is your 10.0 self, and what is your vision? Your 10.0 self is who we need to reveal. That's your identity. If I can solidify who the fuck you are, that's like a guard around you. That's a hedge around you, because you know who you are. You know you shouldn't be smoking. You know you shouldn't be drinking. You know you shouldn't be hanging around those people, because it's not in alignment with who you are.
Yeah.
And the vision is the vehicle of where you're going. In life, you should be helping people. You should be helping people. And it has to be bigger than you. But anyway, like, the identity and the vision is what I really focus on. Obviously, I give people structure, a wake-up time, macros that they got to hit, workouts that they got to hit. Those are easy, though. You know what I'm saying?
You're really working on their mind and trying to open them up to believe, because, again, if people saw you in the street, didn't know you, they wouldn't know you were this skinny, fat kid, probably depressed, probably down and out before. Nothing like where you are today. They don't know the journey to where you got to be. They just see guys like us. Like, I've been overweight. I've been a fat boy. I was a fat boy. I was pushing up to 260. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, little by little, I flipped myself, you know, slowly but surely. So I've been on the other side. So I think a lot of overweight people might see me out thinking like, I've been fit my whole life. Like, furthest from the truth, man. I drank a lot.
Yeah.
I did fucking drugs. I've OD'd. I've done a lot of shit. I've abused a lot of shit. I've abused my body. I didn't have fucking respect for food. I did everything you fuckers are doing now. Nothing different. But the difference is I made a decision, like, all right, it's time to cut it out. It's time to, like, change myself. Like you did. You said, no more. I got to go. I got to do something different. Because if not, we're both going to go down that path where we're not going to have a long life on this earth. And I'm trying to wake these fucking people up that are my age group. Like, listen, you guys, you're not going to make it to my age if you keep playing with your health, you know? I know it sounds like a broken record, but your mental health's going to be down. If your mental health's going to be down, your physical health's going to be down. So, you know, we got to just keep pressing these guys, man. You got to keep letting them know like you're doing.
The message doesn't take a day off. If Big Mike's tired one day, the message still needs to get delivered.
Yep.
You still need to post on Instagram, put your YouTube out, because if this is your real purpose, this is my real purpose, I got to get up and post. Because I think people see me and they're like, wow, like, he's really confident. I'm like, dude, I really worked on it, though.
Yeah.
I'll tell this story real quick. Is when I was in my MBA, I was with all these other older cats. all people that were out of shape. But I thought they were tight because I thought they were somebody. And by the time they got to me, they're like, read this excerpt out of this. And I'm like, I was so nervous. Felt like I had a speech impediment. I was insecure. I was like, I don't know if anybody has felt that before, but just put the camera up and try talking to it. And you'll feel what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I felt in that moment. It was so embarrassing. And so I was like, all right, do whatever you have to do to not have that same feeling again. So that means work on yourself. Like if you don't know what to do, just look at your insecurities. That's the game plan right there. That's the game plan. If you're scared to get on camera, work yourself up to get on camera. If you're scared to do public speaking, work on your confidence in your speech to get around crowd. Like that is the game plan. That's the strategy. But I tell that story because I think people see me and they're like, oh, like he seems like really confident on camera, like almost like he's perfect all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, like shit, I meditated and prayed all last week, every day, just to get through my damn day. Yeah. I did breath work. I did meditation. I journaled. I teach my clients to do all those things just to get your mindset right to not crack. Yeah. Because life will come and crack you.
Oh, yes, it will.
And most people are one sugar cookie and a tall can from reverting all the way back to a worse life. One sugar cookie and a tall can from fucking their life up. Yep. Straight up. And me, it's probably about 8 sugar cookies and 3 tall cans and maybe 1 miss, just a little bit more. No one's safe.
One super burrito away. Yeah. Hey, we love to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And for those guys, again, you look at him and me, we love to eat. We love food. We just have respect for food. Mm-hmm. We have food freedom. We know how to make it work for us, for our lifestyle. We don't abuse it. And I think that's the problem today is this food is so fucking highly addictive that people have no control over it. And if you look at today, when I grew up, going to a gas station, you might have a couple little snacks, water, some soda. You go to a gas station today, they're all like 7-Eleven mini marts. Why? Because they know when the customer walks in there, temptations everywhere. Guys are going to walk out with candy bars, chips. They got burger things in there and hot dogs. It's a whole different ballgame. And they know society's weak, that they're going to cave.
And you go on Instagram, shoot, if I don't clear out my Instagram, all I'll see is bad stuff that I don't want to see. I really don't want to see it. Because it's going to take me off of my purpose. We all know. It's just bullshit. We'll see fighting, memes, tits, ass.
Yes.
More tits and ass. And I'm like, dude, when did I like that post? Did I stay too long on one post and then now it's just feeding my algorithm?
Yeah.
Then I walk into the gas station, I see this. Then I walk to the workplace and all these fuckers are talking about dumbass shit. Yeah. And I'm like, you need a community and a circle like us.
You do.
Because that's refuge right there. When people on my program, when they need something, they come to me and I fill their cup. I make them stronger. I give them that energy that they need. I refill their vision a little bit more. But when people are going to their homes, to their Instagrams, they're getting drained. They have little holes underneath their cup.
Yep.
And this is what I'll say. A lot of people should not be filling other people's cups if your cups are empty. Do not keep it for yourself.
Yeah.
It sounds off, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like, because they teach us to go give more. I'm like, you should not give. You're fucked up right now.
Yep.
You got to fill your cup and you got to patch those holes underneath. Let the waters come up. Like for me, my cup's overflowing. So when people come over to me, I'm abundant. I'm strong. They can gain that energy transference of strength. And then I pour into it. But when I feel mine depleting, I go home. I refuel. Yeah. I take solace. I talk to God. I read. I do my studies. But people aren't doing that. Because they're getting is energy leaks from the phone.
You're right.
From the gas station, from their people, negativity. Those are all energy leaks, big dog. That's what's stealing your vision. All that right there.
Even the shit on TV. Like what's going on right now in the world. I know what's going on. Got a couple guys send me shit about the war and this and that. I ain't got time for that, bro. I can't fix that. All I can do is worry about myself and my family. I ain't got time for that other noise. That's all negative energy I don't need. I try to be in a positive mind space. I try to follow you guys, the West, the Yofons, the Girl Fitness, the Gas Money, the guys that are preaching the same message I'm on, the positive stuff. Because what the fuck did I want all this other garbage in my mind for? That's not going to get me nowhere.
Absolutely.
And I try to connect with guys that were in the same community. And I'm sure you got this. I'm sure people think you're a weirdo now because you don't drink, and party and like, what the fuck, bro? You don't live? What's
Team
the matter,
weirdo,
Mike?
bro.
You don't live? You don't drink, man? You don't want to have a drink? You don't like to socialize? Like, yeah, I can socialize. I don't have to have a drink. Isn't it crazy that nowadays people shun you if you don't drink? Like, it's like a big deal. Like, society's like, oh, you don't drink, something's wrong with you. Like, it's like a must. Even I go to a restaurant, the first fucking thing they always hand me at a restaurant is a drink menu. No, I'm good. I don't need that.
Yep.
Like, they automatically want to shove fucking alcohol in your face. Like, I don't need that. Even had a waiter one time ask me twice, oh, you sure you don't want... Motherfucker, I just said I don't fucking drink. Don't ask me again.
It's kind of like Wes says, if I listen to you, will I get your result? Will I be like you? And that kind of fucks people's minds up.
Yes,
They're
it
like,
does.
Damn. Well, I'll take this menu and go back that way. But in all reality, what has alcohol ever done for anybody? Seriously.
Yeah.
Name one good thing that alcohol has done besides make people's pockets a little bit fatter. Besides that, health-wise, mindset-wise, spiritual-wise, what has it done? I found my worst at times at the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah.
It was like literally stealing my soul.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people's outside results are a reflection of what's going on the inside and even beyond, spiritual-wise too.
Yeah.
Like if you see people who were like, damn, I tried to kill myself. My brother tried to kill myself. Shit, my mom was a drug dealer. She was addicted to X, Y, and Z. I'm like, well, you got to go a little deeper, big dog. See what spiritually is going on right there, too, because there's something to look at right there. We can kind of stop there, but it's not everything is what it seems. There's a reason why you see what you see on Instagram. There's a reason why everything's out in plain sight, why they hand you that menu. Why is it so easy?
Yeah.
Because we don't have men like us, you know? We need more of us.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not enough of us. And people always say, oh, there's, I see a lot of fitness influencers and the internet's played with you guys, this and that. Really? Because when I walk out to fucking society, I see nothing but fat ass and obese people.
Straight
so
up.
where we played that? So you see a few people's posts and a couple guys spewing the message. That's too many of us. But when you go out in society, we're the 1%ers. And, you know, my experience with alcohol, not saying it was all negative. I had my fun, but I threw tens of thousands of dollars. Partying in Vegas, chasing a high, gotten many fights, hurt people behind alcohol because I let my temper flare. I wasn't in my right state of mind. I've lost friends to alcohol, you know, family members. So I've seen it, what it does, the damage. So again, to answer your question, what are the benefits of alcohol?
I'll wait.
Exactly. Well, we'll drink our coffee.
Yeah.
Shoot us the fucking answer, you guys.
Yeah.
What are the benefits of alcohol? Please send it in the comments. I want to know what are the benefits.
Absolutely.
Is red wine good for you, like they say? Come on, hold up and wait.
So is a blueberry. So are cherries.
Yeah.
Go eat that instead of drinking red wine. It's just a cop out, like you said.
Yeah.
It's an excuse.
It is.
But why do you have escapism? Why do people run to those escapes? Why? Like, why do you think that is? Because they don't like themselves? They don't have a vision? They don't have a purpose? I think it's because a lot of people don't like who they are. So every time they get a chance to drink, they get an escape of their current reality of who the fuck they really are. I'm 5'7" and I'm 217 pounds. I'm like, bro, you're about obese.
Yes.
I've never seen an overweight person really like killing it in life, to be honest with you, financially either. There's a few. They're like outliers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I went to an event in LA, Aspiration event, and Magic Johnson was one of the guest speakers there. He's a billionaire, 1.2 billion. He says every day, he's his own boss. He doesn't. Every day he has to get up at 4 a.m. to go work out. He doesn't have to do that, but he does that. Why? Because he's killing it in business. It drives his success. Again, you don't have to get up at 3 in the morning and do the shit you do at 3:30, 4, whatever time you get up. But you know it's part of the program because it's driving you to your success, the discipline. Same thing with me. I got to get up because I have to discipline in all areas of life. Posting, workouts, eating, it's all part of the plan. You know, you have to do it.
Repetition makes reputation. What are you repetitively doing day in, day out? My first mentor told me that. I didn't even understand what those words were at 16. Repetition makes your reputation. So create your habits and your habits will create you. I swear.
That's deep. I like that.
Yeah, I literally have lived on
that.
3 quotes my whole last 4 years. 3 quotes. Repetition makes reputation. Create your habits and your habits will create you. And purpose over pleasure. Those were the 3 quotes that I thought about every single day because I'm like, what are your habits? You've created a soft motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be that person.
No.
So create habits that will create a strong person.
Yeah.
A wealthy person. A free person.
Yep.
You know?
I like that. I like the purpose over pleasure. I know where you got that from.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got to give credit. That's another thing too, is that a lot of people don't give credit to their mentors and to the people that they learn that from. And I got that one from Wes. And I think that's right to show homage, you know, to that person. That's respect right there.
Of course. And you were humble enough to know that you've had a mentor before, but you wanted another mentor. And I always say this to people like, listen, coaches even have coaches. I'm a coach. I'm a personal trainer, but I have a coach. Wife and I, you know, you have a coach. Everybody has a coach. Why? Because we're all trying to level up. We're all trying to be held accountable. And that, I think people need to fucking realize, all you guys need some type of coach or mentor to get to the next level. Stop being arrogant and think you could do it on your own.
100%.
But, man, we killed it. There's some good gems, bro, and love everything you had to say. Love your story. We're going to need a part 2 for sure. And thank you for coming on the pod, brother.
I appreciate it, big guy. Yeah, got it.
Peace.